What's up, guys? Wanted to talk to you about a business cycle here. This is typically what will happen within any business. This is kind of a high-level overview, but typically you start the business, so we start right here. This would be number one. We either start the business because we think we can provide a better service, or we have this entrepreneurial myth that things are going to be great and I'm going to make more money and I'm going to have this business owner's lifestyle, whatever the reason we start a business. And that, as most of you know, it's a step backwards. Like you're probably not going to make what you're currently making if you're a seasoned veteran technician and you're used to bringing home some pretty big paychecks with spiffs and bonuses, and your hourly pay is pretty high or your salary's high. Oftentimes, to get the business up and running and get it off the ground, and just the startup phase is going to require that you take less money out of the business so you can reinvest that money back into the business. A lot of times it's not that you can't make more money by this, third, fourth year, but you're probably going to keep investing some of that money if you want to grow. But I'll show you the cycle here, and you'll see it. I'm sure some of you guys can relate to this, but here's what happens. You start the business. As long as you're doing things right and things are going good and you're excited and you got enthusiasm every time you go to every call, then you get more customers. So that's step number two. You get more customers. I mean, it's inevitable. If you just do a good job every time you're out there, they're going to keep referring you. You may not even have any marketing at this point. You're just growing naturally. Then, if this continues for quite a while, what's going to happen is you're going to get busy. You're going to get really busy because you gain more and more clients. And a lot of times we gain kind of the wrong types of clients because we're not charging enough. But that's a whole nother story. But one way or another, you tend to gain clients and you get busier. So when that happens, you have to start making some decisions. And a lot of those decisions you make without thinking. Really thinking the long-term effects, or you may hire 2 or 3 more people because the workload is there, but then you didn't give thorough thought to whether I should hire those new people, or you hire the wrong people, or you start spending too much money. Maybe you got a lot more customers, you got busy, and now you gave yourself a big huge pay increase all of a sudden. A lot of things can go wrong between there and here, where you started the business, you got more customers, then you get busy serving all those customers. So a lot of things can go wrong in that phase. But as long as you take a modest wage and you continue to grow the business and you continue to put those funds back in and you start learning leadership. Because most of us start as service technicians or comfort advisors or expert installers, whatever. You start there, and you think that that's what it takes to run the business, but in reality it's a completely different skill set, and most of you guys know that by now, but we still have a hard time changing our identity into a business owner versus somebody who delivers that product or service. So at some point though, if we're going to grow and we're going to scale, we have to change. We have to learn more, start learning about leadership and hiring and processes and systems. But anyhow, we get busy. So we make some bad decisions maybe without thinking. We hire quickly maybe without thinking. But the revenue's up. So things are looking up and it seems like we're growing everything. So that's step 4. Step 5, what happens with almost every young entrepreneur as business starts to grow and take off is chaos ensues. We don't have systems and processes. We just kind of grown by the seat of our pants. And I'm no different. I did the same thing. Continue to do some of that once in a while when we're trying something new. but I definitely know more now than I did when I was at this phase initially. So that chaos, when that chaos ensues, we find that our productivity goes down, our profit may even go down. Chances are the profit went down a little bit because we hired some people and now we have a bigger organization, so we can handle the amount of customers that are coming in from all the referrals and stuff we're getting. Maybe at that point we go ahead and start throwing in some marketing material too, which will bring on a few more customers as well. So we do all of that, and then what happens is you got a choice, because that's when the pain really starts to set in. You're so busy, now you're not seeing your family as often as you'd like, and now you don't have, forget the free time and the owner's lifestyle that you dreamed of when you first started the business. Forget that. That's not even, like, you're just trying to figure out, how do I get to the next customer that's waiting for me, because you're so busy. And when that happens, you have a choice. You can either scale down, because a lot of times people will hire people and they're like, oh, this was so much easier when I was by myself. I'm just going to scale back down. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of my employees and just go back to when it was just me. Things were easier when it was just me. Well, that's true, but you just can't serve as many people, and so you're limiting the capacity that your business could generate in the future. You're just limited. So you have to continue to build your team up to your standards, and then ensure that those standards are being met and they're being held with your customers every day. So, but a lot of times people will scale down at that point because they're in pain. By the time you made a few bad decisions and you're super busy and you have your productivity is out the window, it's taking way too long to do installations, you're taking way too long to do service calls, and you're not making the kind of revenue that it takes to pay for all those mistakes. Because high sales will cover a lot of mistakes. I mean, I don't know how, that's the easiest way to put it. High sales are going to cover up mistakes. So if selling is good, well, then what happens is we go into a shoulder season or a slower season or the valley in between seasons. And when those sales stop, that's when the pain really sets in, because you either don't have the money or you don't have the work to keep the guys busy. To keep them employed. You don't want to lose these good employees, the one or two good ones that you have. If you're at that point, that stage in the game, eventually you'll have a whole bunch of really good employees if you just stick with it. But most people choose to scale down or quit. They'll quit because it's too hard. This isn't what I signed up for. I didn't plan on being on call 24/7. I didn't plan on you just didn't give thorough thought in the beginning to what this could turn into, and to how much it could grow. And if you don't change from a service technician mentality or a comfort advisor mentality to business ownership and becoming a business owner, which can take a couple of years to just learn more about leadership, then you're going to come to this crossroads. So your choices are scale down or quit, so that'd be step number 6. Step number 7, if you choose to continue, you're able to look forward past this chaos, and you're able to see into the future, or you have a vision that you want to live up to, and you want to serve the families of the people that you employ and serve yourself and your family. If you decide to make that decision and stick with it, then it's time to fix shit. You got to fix shit. That way you can continue to get more business, and then it just continues to repeat. You continue to get more clients. You continue to get busier. At some point, you may be able to skate by at a certain level, but once you decide, okay, it's time to grow, and we go to the next level, now you got the same problems again. Like I said, guys, this is just a high-level overview. You add 4 or 5 things. When you're smaller, it's easy to add 4 or 5 things into your company. It's easy to implement quickly. And that's what makes you powerful, is that you can dip and dodge and move quickly with the market, with your customers, so you can serve them maybe better than the bigger guys, the bigger companies. So that's an advantage that you've got to take advantage of. However, you continue to grow, it gets a lot harder to make those changes. Every time you implement something new, it takes longer for it to settle in and for everybody to get up to that new implementation, so you're both on the same page. But when you make that decision to scale again and to go bigger, then it kind of just starts all over again. You get more customers, now you're busy, you might make some mistakes with your hiring decisions, with your revenue goes up, maybe the profit's not there, chaos is ensuing around this implementation deal that you just did, or this way that you changed your way of doing business. Then it's the same situation. Do I just scale down and just stay where we are and not grow? Or do we make the decision to fix shit, maybe invest a little more money in the company and continue to grow and get more business and circle again? So this is a really high level overview of just business. Hey guys, if you enjoyed this training, I'm going to be putting together another training that I'd like to give you that just is we're going to go a little deeper on all this stuff that we just talked about on my whiteboard today. And just shoot me an email if you're interested at HVACmillionaire@gmail.com, and I will let you know when that training will be, and we'll go a little deeper and we'll get a really good high-level overview that will help just put this whole business thing in a container for you, so you know how to address issues and find where the stoppages are in your business so you can continue to move forward and grow. Hope this served you well. I'll talk to you soon. Go make money.